Hello, and thank you for joining me here. In recent months, announcements from OpenAI and Google AI have appeared almost non-stop. New models, new capabilities, new promises about what artificial intelligence can do next. For many people, these updates feel exciting, yet also confusing. Headlines move quickly, terminology grows dense, and it becomes difficult to separate genuine progress from marketing language. If you have found yourself curious but uncertain, informed yet overwhelmed, this video is meant for you. Today's discussion is not about choosing sides, predicting winners, or amplifying hype. Instead, it is a calm and thoughtful breakdown of what recent OpenAI and Google AI updates actually represent. We will take the time to understand what has changed beneath the surface, why these changes matter, and how to interpret them with clarity rather than urgency. As seekers, our goal is not to consume information rapidly, but to understand it deeply. Artificial intelligence is not an independent force moving on its own. It is a collection of systems shaped by human decisions, research priorities, and values. Every update reflects trade-offs between speed and safety, capability and control, scale and responsibility. Throughout this video, I will guide you step by step, avoiding unnecessary technical complexity while remaining faithful to the underlying ideas. You do not need to be an engineer or researcher to follow along. All that is required is curiosity and a willingness to look beyond surface-level claims. Together, we will explore what OpenAI and Google AI are building, how their approaches differ, and what this means for users, learners, creators, and society at large. Most importantly, we will reflect on how to engage with these developments thoughtfully, without fear, without blind trust, and without losing human perspective. Let us begin this exploration calmly, grounded in understanding, and guided by intention rather than reaction. What are the latest updates from OpenAI and Google AI? To understand the recent updates from OpenAI and Google AI, it helps to begin with a simple grounding thought. These updates are not sudden leaps into the unknown, but carefully measured steps forward. Each announcement represents months, or even years, of research, testing, refinement, and internal debate. From OpenAI, recent updates have generally focused on improving how AI systems understand instructions, reason across longer and more complex tasks, and interact more naturally with humans. These improvements often include better handling of nuanced prompts, stronger multi-step reasoning, and more reliable behavior across diverse use cases. Another key emphasis has been making models more helpful while also being safer and more aligned with user intent. On the other side, Google's AI efforts, particularly through Google DeepMind, have emphasized scaling intelligence across modalities and grounding AI more firmly in structured knowledge. Updates from Google AI frequently highlight stronger multimodal systems, meaning models that can work across text, images, audio, and sometimes video, while also integrating with large knowledge systems such as search and scientific data. What is important for a seeker to recognize is that these updates are not isolated features added at random. They reflect long-standing goals within AI research, improving representation, reducing uncertainty, and increasing reliability. Many of these ideas trace back to classical foundations outlined in artificial intelligence, a modern approach, where progress is described as the ability of systems to act more rationally under complex conditions. In practical terms, the latest updates aim to make AI systems more consistent in their responses, better at handling complex or ambiguous tasks, less prone to misleading or harmful outputs. For the seeker, the key takeaway is this: these updates are not about creating artificial minds, but about refining tools designed to support human thinking, creativity, and decision-making with greater care and reliability. What has improved technically, at a high level? When we look closely at recent updates from OpenAI and Google AI, the most meaningful changes are not always visible on the surface. They live in the technical refinements, quiet improvements that make systems behave more reliably, thoughtfully, and usefully over time. For a seeker, understanding these changes at a high level is far more valuable than memorizing feature lists. One major area of improvement is reasoning quality. Newer models are better at handling tasks that require multiple steps, logical consistency, and contextual awareness. Instead of jumping to conclusions, they are increasingly trained to process intermediate steps internally, which reduces contradictions and shallow answers. This does not mean the models truly reason like humans, but it does mean their pattern recognition has become more structured and disciplined. Another important advancement is context management. Updated models can now handle longer conversations, documents, and instructions without losing coherence. This allows them to maintain continuity, remember earlier details, and respond in ways that feel more grounded and attentive. For users, this translates into fewer repetitions and clearer interactions. Multimodal understanding has also improved significantly. Both OpenAI and Google AI are investing in systems that can work across text, images, and audio within a single framework. This reflects a broader shift toward more holistic representations of information, rather than isolated inputs. Equally important, but less visible, are improvements in safety, alignment, and efficiency. Models are trained more carefully to avoid harmful outputs, follow boundaries, and deliver higher quality responses with fewer computational resources. These refinements are essential for responsible deployment at scale. As discussed in deep learning, progress in AI is rarely about sudden breakthroughs. It is about better representations, optimization, and error reduction. Seen through this lens, recent updates represent steady progress towards systems that fail less often and support humans more effectively. For the seeker, the key insight is simple. Modern AI improvements are about reliability over brilliance, consistency over spectacle. What do these updates mean for users, learners, and creators? Once we move past technical descriptions, the most important question becomes deeply human. How do these updates from OpenAI and Google AI actually affect people who use these tools? For seekers, this is where understanding turns into practical wisdom. For everyday users, newer AI updates generally mean smoother, more reliable interactions. Systems are better at understanding intent, handling follow-up questions, and responding with clarity rather than confusion. This reduces friction and makes AI feel less like a novelty and more like a dependable assistant, one that supports tasks without demanding constant correction. For learners, the impact is especially meaningful. Updated models can adapt explanations to different levels of understanding, reframe complex ideas in simpler language, and patiently explore concepts from multiple perspectives. This creates a learning experience that feels more conversational and less intimidating. However, it remains essential for learners to verify information and remain actively engaged, rather than passively accepting answers. For creators and professionals, these updates shift AI from being a simple productivity shortcut to a thinking companion. Writers can explore ideas more fluidly, researchers can organize information more coherently, and planners can structure complex thoughts with greater ease. The value lies not in automation alone, but in amplification, reducing cognitive load so human creativity and judgment can operate more freely. Yet an important reminder is needed. As thoughtfully illustrated in You Look Like a Thing and I Love You, AI systems can still behave in unexpected or flawed ways. They may sound confident while being wrong, or appear logical while missing crucial context. Fluency should never be mistaken for understanding. For the seeker, the guiding principle is balance. These AI updates are powerful, but they are not authorities. The greatest benefit comes to those who remain actively involved, questioning outputs, refining prompts, and applying human judgment. Used this way, AI becomes not a replacement for thinking, but a tool that helps us think more clearly and creatively. Ethical, social, and long-term considerations. As OpenAI and Google AI continue to release more capable systems, it becomes essential to pause and look beyond performance metrics. Technical progress alone does not define success. For a seeker, the deeper question is how these updates shape human systems, values, and responsibilities. One of the central ethical concerns is alignment, the effort to ensure that AI systems act in ways that reflect human intent and societal norms. As models become more powerful, even small misalignments can scale quickly. This is why both OpenAI and Google AI invest heavily in safety research, evaluation frameworks, and controlled deployment. These efforts may not always be visible, but they are among the most critical aspects of modern AI development. Another important consideration is bias and representation. AI models learn from vast amounts of human-generated data, which means they can inherit historical biases, cultural imbalances, or incomplete perspectives. Updates often aim to reduce these issues, but no system is entirely neutral. Awareness of this limitation helps users interpret outputs thoughtfully rather than treating them as objective truth. There is also the question of power and access. As AI systems become deeply integrated into work, education, and communication, those who control their design and distribution gain significant influence. This raises concerns around transparency, accountability, and equitable access. Who benefits most from these updates? Who may be left behind? These are not technical questions alone, they are societal ones. These themes are explored in depth in Life 3.0, which emphasizes that the future of AI is shaped not by machines themselves, but by human choices surrounding governance and values. Similarly, Human Compatible reminds us that the ultimate goal of AI is not autonomy, but cooperation with human priorities. For the seeker, ethical reflection is not an obstacle to progress, it is a compass. By staying aware of these broader implications, we ensure that AI updates serve human well-being, dignity, and long-term flourishing rather than narrow efficiency alone. How should a seeker engage with these AI updates? After exploring what the latest OpenAI and Google AI updates involve, how they differ, and what they mean for individuals and society, we arrive at the most personal question of all: how should you, as a seeker, engage with these developments? The answer is not found in excitement or resistance, but in intentional awareness. The first guiding principle is curiosity without dependence. New AI capabilities are worth exploring, testing, and learning from, but they should never replace your own thinking. Treat AI responses as informed suggestions, not final truths. Ask follow-up questions, cross-check important information, and remain actively involved in the reasoning process. The second principle is collaboration over delegation. AI works best when it supports human effort rather than substitutes for it. Whether you are writing, studying, planning, or analyzing, use AI as a partner that helps you structure thoughts, explore alternatives, and reduce routine workload. The insight, creativity, and responsibility should always remain human. A third principle is respect for limitations. Even advanced models remain probabilistic systems. They can sound confident while being uncertain, or persuasive while being incomplete. Recognizing this prevents misplaced trust and encourages healthy skepticism, a skill that becomes increasingly valuable in an AI-rich world. These ideas strongly align with the core message of Human Compatible, which emphasizes that beneficial AI depends on keeping humans meaningfully in control. The success of AI is not measured by independence, but by alignment with human goals and values. For the seeker, these updates are not milestones to chase, but tools to use wisely. When approached with clarity, humility, and discernment, AI can enhance learning, creativity, and decision-making without diminishing human agency. The path forward is not about trusting machines blindly, but about engaging with them consciously and responsibly. As we arrive at the end of this exploration, it is worth pausing, not to rush toward conclusions, but to reflect on what these updates from OpenAI and Google AI truly represent. Beyond technical improvements and competitive headlines, they signal an ongoing dialogue between human intention and machine capability. Throughout this video, we have looked at what has changed, what has improved, and what remains limited. Yet the most important realization is not about the models themselves, it is about our role in shaping how they are used. Artificial intelligence does not move history forward on its own. It responds to incentives, values, and decisions made by people. For seekers, this moment is not one of urgency, but of awareness. You are not required to fear these developments, nor to celebrate them uncritically. The wiser path lies in balance, remaining open to innovation while grounded in human judgment. AI can assist thinking, but it cannot replace meaning. It can accelerate work, but it cannot define purpose. As these systems become more integrated into learning, creativity, and decision-making, the quiet responsibility rests with us to ask better questions. Are we using these tools to deepen understanding, or merely to move faster? Are we staying curious, or becoming passive? These questions matter more than any individual update. If there is one thought to carry forward, let it be this: progress in AI is not measured only by capability, but by how thoughtfully it is guided. When used with clarity and intention, AI can support human growth. When used without reflection, it risks narrowing perspective rather than expanding it. Thank you for taking the time to seek understanding rather than reaction. In a world that often rewards speed, choosing depth is a quiet strength. As you continue exploring artificial intelligence, may you do so calmly, critically, and with respect for the human values that ultimately give technology its meaning. Until our next conversation, continue forward with curiosity and with care.